Being trapped in a school by a psychotic black and white bear and being forced to kill one of your classmates to get out is scary on its own. But what if I told you that there's a room in this school that's way more horrifying than anything else? Room 5C holds a story. It seems like a massacre happened in this room because that's what actually happened in this room. Tables and chairs flipped over, blood everywhere, chalk outlines indicating dead bodies all over the floor, and a message written in blood on the wall, which says, "Eye for an eye." It's initially thought that the tragedy refers to this room, but it doesn't. If you watch the Danganronpa 3 anime, then you'd know that this room is where the student council participated in the first killing game, where they turn on each other and kill their fellow classmates. You may think they all died, right? Since at the end, Izuru shows up, hits one guy and causes him to land on a chainsaw, making Izuru the sole survivor. But Shosun Murasame, the ultimate student council president, actually survived. I won't spoil it for you if you're interested, so read Danganronpa 0 for more. The thing with room 5C is that we actually get an explanation to what happened here. But there is another area which doesn't get a proper explanation, and that's what makes it a little bit more eerie. The second floor dorms are first mentioned by Kyoko in chapter 5 before the class trial starts. She tells Makoto that she was searching the second floor dorms where there were no surveillance cameras and that she took a brief look at the body when making her way to the elevator. The reason why she was absent and took a while to get to the elevator was because there were no cameras or intercom systems on the second floor dorms, which is why Kyoko didn't hear the body discovery announcement and only heard that time was up as she made her way back to the first floor. That's why she took so long to arrive at the elevator, since she had to go investigate quickly as she could. An interesting detail we should make a note of here is there being no cameras or intercom system on the second floor dorms. This means that Junko probably never intended for the students to explore the second floor dorms, even after she opened up the rest of the school. When we're able to explore the second floor dorms, during chapter 6, it's been destroyed. It almost looks like if an earthquake had destroyed this whole floor, because there's rubble that blocks our path. And is that blood? Did someone get crushed by the debris? Now, as we saw earlier in room 5C, this is blood. It's old blood. Blood in this game is typically shown to be the color pink for PG reasons. But Byakuya even states in room 5C that all of this blood, this actual red blood, is old blood, which is kind of weird seeing it in Danganronpa because you're so used to seeing blood being the color pink. It's interesting to speculate what happened here because we still don't know exactly what happened here. Notably, there is only 13 student dorms on this floor, and we can only access one of those dorms. There's not much to this room other than the fact that it looks like it's been destroyed as well, but there's nothing in here that tells us what kind of student lived here. Therefore, we have no clues whether the student that lived here was boy or girl. A creepy discovery can be made while exploring a little bit further down. There's an eye on the wall. Is it drawn in red paint? Or could it be blood? This eye is known as the Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus is an ancient Egyptian symbol of protection, healing, and wholeness. This could be a hint, as at the end of the game, your characters have the hope they need to leave the school and confront the outside world, starting a new life. Now, I'm not going to talk much about the headmaster's room since that's a place we fully are able to explore during the investigation, but I do want to say this. Was this man living here during the time they spent locked up? His room is spotless, man. Or maybe Junko was living up here. I doubt those stairs are the only way to get to the second floor dorms. There's gotta be a secret passage for her to get around the school. This floor also has the locker room. It's said that this locker room is for upperclassmen, but one of the lockers has stuff belonging to Yasuhiro, and there's another locker that has a book belonging to Kyoko. We know that Makoto's class, Class 78, is the last class to attend Hope's Peak Academy. So then, I thought maybe this floor belongs to Class 77B, but it doesn't add up since there are only 13 dorm rooms on the second floor and Class 77B has 16 students. Then it hit me, 77B? Why B? It's because there exists a Class 77A. There were so many students that they had to be split up. So maybe There is a second Class 78, probably a Class 78B. For those who don't know, Class 77B is Chiaki's class, excluding Hajime since he belongs to the reserve course. And that class has 16 students, just like Class 78 does. Chiaki, Akane, Fuyuhiko, Sonia, Teko, Kazuichi, Nekomaru, Mikan, Hiyoko, Mahiru, Teruteru, Gundam, Nagito, Ibuki, the ultimate imposter whose name is never revealed to us, and not Hajime, but instead Ryota Mitarai. And in Danganronpa 2, instead of Mitarai, Hajime/Izuru is the one who takes his place, so no matter what, there are always 16 students. All this to say that maybe there was a second Class 78 that just had 13 students instead of the 16. Or at least, that's my theory. There must be another dorm outside of the school, since we know that Hope's Peak Academy is a 3-year school, and in the Danganronpa 3 anime, Side Despair, Class 77B is shown to be walking through the front gates of the school, passing by Hajime. These dorms might also belong to a Class 77C. So my personal headcanon is that there is a second Class 78, but please leave your thoughts in the comment section below, as I'm interested in reading your guys' opinions. Maybe you agree that there's a Class 78B or a Class 77C, as that was a big year that had a bunch of students. Or this was for the teachers. This could have been for the teachers to stay. Some might even say that the damage could have been done by the reserve course students when the tragedy began. Or maybe you found something that I missed, and so please let me know down below. I think this is like the most interesting area in Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is huge. There's a lot of secrets I don't think we've all been given the full extent to. For example, we know that there's 5 floors. We know that there's a garbage dump below the school. We know that there's also a secret lab under the school, who knows how far down, where they were experimenting on reserve course students. And there's also a maze that Chiaki had to run through. Like, this school is huge, but in what we can explore, this is the most interesting room in Hope's Peak Academy in the first game. And I think Hope's Peak Academy is such a great location. There's so many secrets, so many eerie set pieces in this, which I think makes for a perfect setting. One thing for sure is that the second floor dorm story remains a mystery.